Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order of the Buhl City Council on Tuesday, February 4th, 2020. Ryan, would you please take the roll?
Councillor Lehman?
Here.
Councillor Keekly?
Here.
Councillor Milich?
Here.
Mayor Clarich?
Here. Number 3, reports from department heads. Okay, Troy's not here from Public Works. Fire and ambulance, is there anything you know, Stuart, that you want to update us on? Or?
We didn't actually have a meeting last night because department members are gone and stuff,
Okay.
so
Okay.
we'll be doing that probably next week, I think.
Okay, so we'll get an update towards the end of the month. Okay. Engineering, Ryan, is there anything you have to speak for the engineers about?
I was just gonna mention that everything was submitted off to the USDA state office plus our rep. It's more or less just a quick review, and we should be getting our approval to go out to bids in the next week or two.
It's crucial we get out for those bids as quickly as possible.
Yes, all
so we get
the
best price.
in-depth review and environmental reviews have already been completed and signed off on. Just basically going through it once more and giving that final go-ahead.
Okay, no problem. The attorney is not here until the next meeting. Long-range planning and zoning, they still have not met, correct?
No, we're working on that with the building inspector.
Okay, the recreation board, there isn't one, or we don't have membership, and we're constantly looking for that. So if there's anybody, please contact Ryan at City Hall or Diana. Library board, we did get a written report, and that is posted, correct, Ryan?
Yep.
Okay. BETA.
Yeah, we had a meeting
Tuesday.
I'm sorry. We had election of officers. Myself, president. Again, Gene Matthews, vice president, and Tom Hewitt, treasurer. We did donate $250 to MIB All Night Grad Party. And then we talked a little bit about the plans for the South Industrial Park and the sidewalk to Shortstop. Working on that.
We're working on that, yep. Stuart, do you have anything to add? You
I wasn't.
Oh, you weren't? Okay. Yep, it was a pretty good meeting, so Paul, you covered it quite well. Okay, we'll move on to law enforcement. We have a written report there too. And we did have a few tickets that were issued in January, but that's really been cleaned up lately. Of course, we haven't had a lot of snow, but that doesn't dictate if you're going to get a ticket or not. We do have calendar parking, and irregardless if there's a snowstorm or not, you can be ticketed for being on the wrong side. Clerk, Ryan, what do you have?
Just a few updates. Councilor Click, you mentioned the sidewalk to Shortstop. I did speak with the county engineer this afternoon, and they're going to be coming into town in the next couple weeks, month or so, just to kind of get a plan together, get some costs together and see what some options are. Like I said, I'm also looking into a grant through the IRRB to hopefully offset any portion that the city may be responsible for in that. A note on the skating rink, hours are weekdays 4 to 8 and on the weekends noon to 8. Just around there, please be respectful of everyone out there and keep things clean. Things like that. So.
And I was contacted by the MIB school there. I believe 5th and 6th grade are going to come on Valentine's Day during the day. They're going to get here somewhere a little bit afternoon, and they have to be gone to catch their buses by a little after 2. So they'll be using it, weather permitting. If it's too cold or from the middle of a blizzard, that's not going to happen. So.
What day is that?
It's Friday the 14th. That's Valentine's Day this year. They usually have what they call Valentine's, or it's always on that. Just happened to fall on Valentine's Day. But
are we gonna get the big rink open up there?
Yep, it's all cleared right now. They're flooding as we speak. The city crew has been helping with that too, and then obviously the workers up there. So by the end of the week, that should be pretty much ready to use.
Cool.
Anything else, Ryan?
That's all I have.
Okay, Central Iron Range Sanitary Sewer District, there was no meeting. It's not until March, so there's not much to report there. I'll move on to number 4, council additions to the agenda. I do have one change, but I think what we'll do, Ryan, if you don't have a problem with that, is we're going to hire a volunteer firefighter, and I was just saying, let's put that as 7F.1. We can do it that way, can't we?
Yep.
Under other business, okay. So that will be 7F.1 under other business. That'll be the first thing we talk before we go around and ask for input from any of the council members. So is there a motion to approve the agenda with that change?
I'll make a motion, Lehman.
Okay, moved by Stuart. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Paul, was it? Okay. Any further comments or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Citizens Forum, anybody signed up?
Anything, Gary?
Oh, I just gotta say, they did a good job snow plowing. The streets look good now, they pushed everything back, so it's nice.
That's why it was getting hard to see on some of those corners, so. They've done an excellent job. I've had a lot of comments and compliments from the public to direct towards them, so, and thank you for that comment too, so. Okay, we'll move on to the consent agenda. 6A, the minutes, the regular city council meeting minutes of January 21st, 2020, and then the claims of payroll number 3, $12,965.81. Payroll January 2020 of $1,850, and then accounts payable of $37,153.18. I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda that includes the meeting of January 21st, as well as the claims totaling $51,968.99. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion by Paul. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Jim. Any questions or comments, councilors? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. We'll move on to our business portion of our agenda. 7A is the Minnesota Municipal Utility Association dues. This is something that's routine and standard that we do every year. We do get some benefit out of that, which includes many resources, including training, mutual aid, disaster response, utility management, and advocacy at the state and federal level. The cost is $1,285. I would entertain a motion to approve the $1,285 for membership of the Minnesota Municipal Utility Association.
I'll make that motion to approve the MMUA.
Motion by Paul. Is there support?
I'll support.
Support by Stuart. Comments or discussion? Ryan, anything that we should know about? It's pretty standard. Okay. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. We'll move on to 7B, Curling Club liquor license. We may have a little discussion on that. And what Ryan has done, he's attached an application for a different liquor license at the Curling Club. Currently, the club holds a 3.2 on-sale license. The availability of 3.2 beverages is limited. As a result, we'd like to upgrade to an enhanced license before the Blarney Bonspiel in March, and then for any other events they have. I know they have one coming up, the Rag Spiel on, I think it's going to be on Saturday the 15th. So they do have a couple events coming up there. Ryan, anything you want to just give us an update before we...
Yeah, I talked to Denise from the curling club, and from her talking to whether it's Sunny Hill or Starkovich, just trying to get just the 3-2 is becoming more and more difficult for them and more expensive. So they're just requesting basically to up their level of the license. It's $300 more, which they've already paid. It goes through the same process. Basically, the council has to approve it. They will do a background check. Law enforcement, Chisholm will handle that for us, and then it will be submitted.
That's a standard liquor license then, and they have that for the whole year?
Yep.
When they do that, okay, so if they have a special event that they're covered.
Yep, and just to note, this is the license that they're applying for is the type of liquor license that the majority of curling clubs in Minnesota have.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion to approve that. Is there support for that?
Support.
Is there any comment from anyone or questions about that? It just seems like standard operating business. That 3-2 license is kind of disappearing. Isn't Minnesota one of the last states, if not the last state, to have that in the United States? Okay.
Yeah, so this would just be like a regular strong liquor license?
Yeah. They don't
cost them more,
I
that's all.
think they aren't even making 3-2, are they?
I don't think so.
And I think that was one of the reasons.
That was one of the, it's being phased out, let's do it that way, so. Okay, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. That motion is carried. We'll move on to 7C, St. Louis County Fair request. This also is something standard. We have a request from St. Louis County Fair Board for the 2020 fair. The city donated $100 in 2018. State statute authorizes municipalities to contribute financially to a county fair if they so choose. We didn't contribute in 2019, Ryan?
I don't believe we did, no.
Okay. Do you know, was there a reason or?
Did we refer to Vita or something?
I'd have to look back. I can't remember. I know, I don't remember.
I don't have a problem. I'm not asking because I have a problem with this. The only thing is that I think a lot of our residents do attend that county fair. And I think it's a good thing for the entire area. And it's nice to see. So I just thought, well, maybe there was something that came up that why we didn't. But
I mean, normally, whether it's the league or guidelines for municipalities, basically tell cities to try to refrain from donating to organizations. However, because the St. Louis County Fair state statute does authorize the cities to, and they've sent requests every year.
okay, and I have no problem with that. So I'll entertain a motion to authorize $100 to be contributed to the St. Louis County Fair.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Paul. Is there support?
Awesome.
Support by Stuart. Any further comment from councilors?
The only thing I'd have to say was, I'd like to see some recognition of that too, cities that support the St. Louis County Fair. I don't know if I've ever seen it.
I don't think they have a booklet or pamphlet or anything like that, but there must be some place.
I know I've noticed it wasn't from the last couple of years, but before I got there, there was they did send like a certificate basically thanking you for donating, but that's the only recognition I've seen.
Usually I think they put a thank you out to anybody that helps with them. But they have so many volunteers. It's unbelievable how many volunteers they have to help set that up. And then they have paid positions too. But okay, any further comments? If not, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Okay, we'll move on to 7D, rink hires for up at the skating rink. Okay, and at a previous meeting, the council did authorize our city administration to hire rink attendants at their discretion. Since the last meeting, the city has hired 5 rink attendants. The council we do have to take action on this, but the 5 people are Natalie Michelson, Dominic Gundy, Brody Hill, William Gundy, and Christian Labarge as rink attendants. Is there a motion to hire those 5 individuals as rink attendants?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Stuart. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Jim. Any further comment? And just once again, I will repeat, the rink hours are 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock on weekdays, Monday through Friday, then the weekends of noon till 8 p.m. So, and I went by tonight and there were kids out there, and that's good. And what Ryan said, we are flooding that other rink to get that one ready too, so.
Is there a couple that have past experience too around?
All of these ones are brand new at the rink. Yeah, none from last year applied this year, but I've been up there with them. I know Owen and Lyle and Trent have been up there with them, kind of showing them the ropes before they started. Those that were comfortable running snow blowers, I know Owen and Lyle were both up there, checking the oil, operating it, watching them operate and things like that. So
There's just a couple of kids that are from Kinney.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't get enough.
Yeah.
This is nice. They can rotate.
It's good that there's got a couple of kids that come over.
Well, and that's good. Hopefully, they draw kids.
Are they on a schedule?
yeah,
I mean, they're not all 5 there.
no, but it's 2 there at a time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then if they do have an issue, if there's an issue with misbehavior or loud and obnoxious behavior or something, or where somebody's going to get hurt, they can contact Ryan. Then Ryan will either go down there or tell them how to deal with it, or
They have a list.
And if worst comes to worst, Ryan can call the police. If there's, you're always going to have some sort of teasing going on around. That goes with any playground. I've dealt with that for many years, but as these people get used to that, and if they have a problem, they'll just call Ryan and we'll go from there. Any further comment or discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Okay. 7E, the local Board of Appeals and Equalization meeting. And the St. Louis County Assessor's Office has released the tentative schedule for the Local Board of Appeals and Equalization meeting. Buell's meeting is scheduled for Thursday, April 23rd from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. at City Hall. For the city to continue to hold control over the process, a quorum of the council must be present. That means 3 of us have to be there. I just took a test the other day online, and Councilor Marcus has taken in the past to complete some training requirements for this process. So you have to have at least one person certified, so both Johnny and I are certified in that. And only one has to be, but I thought we might as well have covered just in case, he were to be absent that day or whatever happened. So, Ryan, do you have anything to add? It's just the hearing we have right here. It's open to the public.
Yep.
The public can speak. They can protest.
Yep,
They can ask questions too, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a chance for the citizenry to find out about taxes. I don't think they're going to get an explanation of how their individual taxes are figured personally, but they can read the tax. They can say, here's what it is. Maybe some data on the city. I'm not sure, but I strongly encourage people, if they do have questions about their taxes, to come on up. And once again, that is April 23rd, coming up, 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock at City Hall. Now, it can go longer than that, correct, Ryan?
Yeah, it just had the minimum.
It has to be set for an hour so people can get here to voice their opinion. Okay. Is there a motion to approve this date and the group coming in for the Local Board of Appeals and Equalization?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Stewart. I'll support that. Further comment or questions from any of the councilors? I know we had a few people last year, and I've attended one in the past too, so it runs pretty smoothly, and usually your questions are answered with best of knowledge, but you don't always get your way and get them appealed down or up. Nobody has to have them up, but it's a good meeting. So we have a motion second. Without further discussion, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Now we'll move on to 7F.1, and that was a little handout we had before that. And I'm going to ask for a motion to hire Riley McLaughlin as a volunteer firefighter, pending completion of the applicable new hire fire department paperwork and requirements, background check, all of that. Is there a motion to hire Riley McLaughlin?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Paul. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Jim. Any comments or questions from council? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. That motion is carried. Now we'll just whip around if there's anything anybody has to say. Stuart, I'll start with you.
Attended the Rams board meeting last Thursday.
Yeah, okay.
My Commissioner Rogovich was in and talked about St. Louis County Board, what's going on there. Talked about the refugees, talked about the meeting that's going to be here discussing that. It's quite a deal.
Well, as long as you brought it up, Stuart, I wasn't going to talk about this, but we did have a lady post on the All Things Buell, Minnesota, that the Buell School was being eyed as a refugee center. Ryan has not received anything. I have not had, and I've talked to some of the commissioners. That is not in the works. The lady, I think her name was Marie Milner. I don't know her, but she started a little bit of a firestorm on our All Things Buell website, and twice she made comment. But there are no plans. No one has been approached about the school hosting a refugee center or anything like that. And just for the public's information, that building belongs to the school. This city council would vote anything that goes into there or anything that we do with that school will have to be approved by the city council. So just so that the public is aware, nobody can just come in and say that's going to happen there. We as a council will have to make any changes. We have the right to sell it. We have the right to demolish it. We have the right to board it up. We have the right to let it sit as is. So, just so the public knows, that building is under our direction And we'll see where that goes. And we are actively searching and working with various groups, looking for the right fit for a group to come in there, and actively searching to try to get it back to what it was, and that was an educational rehabilitation facility. So we're still working on that. So
And to add on that, from talking with Commissioner Jugovich, St. Louis, there's actually an injunction on refugees coming to over here, so the United States is not going to take any of them. And there's only actually been one refugee in St. Louis County, and that's because he come from Kenya or some place over that way, and he had family here, so that we've only had one in.
that's the requirement. You have to have family here to do that. Or you have to have one of the centers right there in the close, and it has to be within 50 miles of us. The closest one is in Minneapolis.
Right.
So I understand that it's a hot button across the country right now. And it all of a sudden it landed on the All Things Fuel webpage, but I just want everybody to know that that stuff that was put on there was false. There's no back on that. I have never been approached. The city has not been approached. We as a city are actively seeking something to go in there, but I'm not seeking a refugee center at this point. None of us are. So there you go, public. Now you've had our update. Thank you, Stuart, for bringing that up and then getting me off on a tirade. Paul, what do you have?
Not too much, I guess. Just I was going to comment on, the intersections, and they're looking really good. I did notice there are a couple that with piles farther back even than just the corners, that sometimes there's a car hiding. I actually pulled out in front of somebody a couple days ago. So
that's your excuse.
They're still there.
Okay, just to
watch for that.
Okay. Jim, anything you want to update us on?
I don't have nothing.
Okay, and I guess Gary brought it up. I'd just like to compliment the city crew. They've been out there doing a lot of work, and I think that they've been trying to keep the alleys as open as possible too. A lot of people for the garbage collection and things of that nature, that we're staying on top of things. So we have the skating rink open now, so it's just we're holding in there and we're caught up on that. So with that, that's all I have. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Stuart. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Paul. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carrying. Meeting adjourned.